Chapter 7. East returned to school after an unsuccessful hunt. After Daniel's funeral, he didn't even bother to attend Patrick. Didn't feel like there was much of a point. He was definitely going to Jeff's, simply out of pure respect for his best friend. Peyton was waiting for him by the bulletin board, promoting all sorts of things that nobody really cared about. He was a mixed-race young man born in Hawaii, shorter than East by a few inches. Upon seeing each other, Peyton approached him. "Hey, brother, how you holding up?" East shook his head and wrapped his arm around his friend. "One day at a time," East said. "So far I didn't find shit at the funerals." "That sucks. You going to Jeff's?" "Of course, man." They walked down the hall to their classroom. They both wanted to say something else, but couldn't find the courage or the words. They reached the doorway of their first class when Peyton stopped him to ask one more question. "Okay, be honest. Are you hoping he'll be there?" East nodded. "Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like this guy killed Jeff to fuck with me. He couldn't get me, so he went after Jeff. I know it sounds retarded, but..." Peyton stopped it. "No, I understand. You don't need to explain." East looked at his friend. "You want to plan it out afterward?" Peyton nodded. "Hell yeah." Class came and went as usual. Obviously, Principal Blake and the school guidance counselor came by two of East's classes to tell the class the usual shtick about Jeff's, offering the option to talk if anyone needed to. Then came lunch. East and Peyton sat at their regular table, now sporting a new empty chair to discuss their plan. "So when we get there, we play it cool until we see something out of the ordinary," East said. "And if we don't see anything," Peyton asked, "we don't do anything. Just a normal funeral for our friend." "You gonna bring the trauma hawk?" "Yeah." "You bringing your dad's 9mm? "You know it." Both boys were avid hunters, which was actually how they met. Both their dads were hunters and introduced their sons to the sport. Just last year, Peyton's dad gifted him with his old 9mm handgun, although he was 17 and legally couldn't own a firearm. So the plan was that once he turned 21, they'd go over the paperwork to make his ownership official. "What time is the funeral?" Peyton asked. 10, East said. "All right, I'll text." Rusty watched her boyfriend and Peyton from a distance. Normally, she would immediately join them by lightly slapping Jeff in the back of the head, breathing deeply into Peyton's ear to mess with him, then finally kissing East and sitting on his lap. But seeing that empty chair that Jeff used to sit in caused her to halt. As she stared, she didn't notice Kaylee walking up behind her until she spoke. "Hey." Rusty jumped. "Jesus! Sorry, I didn't get to thank you and him for the other day." Rusty looked at the girl. "It's no trouble. It's no trouble. Those assholes needed to be put in their place." Kaylee watched her watch East and Peyton. She took almost a minute to think how she was going to ask her question. "So a couple days ago, I noticed he had a scar on the side of his neck." She stopped. Maybe she didn't say it right, but something felt off. Rusty looked at her. "To be honest, I don't know. He never told me." That wasn't entirely true. Up until East's sophomore or junior year, she didn't remember, he was the top student of the local karate dojo. One day, the entire class went on a trip to compete at an international tournament. East couldn't go because he had the flu. The tournament was in late January, early February, so it was still snowing on a regular basis. There was a blizzard the night the bus left. They swerved and caused a massive pileup on the freeway. Nobody on the bus made it out. A few days after, Rusty noticed a scar on the side of East's neck. At first, she thought it was a suicide attempt. But that didn't make sense. Sure, East was broken up about it, but he wasn't the type to kill himself. Rusty knew that. Plus, the scar was on the side of his neck, away from the jugular or any serious veins or arteries. Rusty wanted to ask him where it came from, but it felt inappropriate. She glanced at Kaylee, who was still looking at her. "Probably just a shaving cut or something." Kaylee nodded. It seemed like a good enough answer. A lot of people were uneasy around East. They didn't need to add another name on that list.